See. Good evening, everybody. It's Healing Tuesday. Okay, so I just wanted to get on here and talk. So let's see where we get to with this tonight. I am Dr. Tori J. I'm the founder and CEO of the Fatherless Generation Foundation. I would actually say today I have the hardest job in show business. That's what I would say. So I'm waiting for a few of you to get on. I got a couple of things I want to go over and just talk to you guys tonight. I got some things I want to talk about and see where you guys are as well. Hey, Linda, how are you? I see you, Varg. I just got on the phone with you. He's the reason I was a few minutes late. I'm telling on him. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. I got some stuff I want to talk about, but I also want to give away some stuff. I have some giveaways tonight. And then I want to go over the things that we have talked about over the last few months. Sometimes I think I give you guys so much, I need to let you breathe. And tonight is kind of one of those nights where we're breathing, but also allowing me a moment to share and talk. Not about healing, but just maybe y'all can give me some advice. You think? Maybe you can give me some advice. All right, I want to make sure I can see everything because sometimes on here, I can't see. And honestly, I really want to get my iPad. Tonight's where we're breathing. See, it's loud. Okay, so let's get into this. Tonight is Healing Tuesday, and tonight is one of those nights where we're just going to talk. I just want to talk about the things that we've covered previously, the things, and we're going to go back to, the only time we're going to go back to is living with a mama's boy, living with an emasculating woman, inner healing series, and then the last, and even the last one about sexuality and does promiscuity, is it a threat to your intimacy? Those are the three I want to cover. I have given you a lot of stuff over the last few weeks. And I want to just let us all breathe because we took in a lot of stuff. How many of you can agree? We took in a lot of stuff over the last week or last few months. I feel like I took in a lot. I learned a lot. As my husband put in here, please share. And I like what Charles said. Mark, he said, thank you. Thanks for calling me beautiful, but I don't swing that way. Y'all already getting started. Hey, Becca. Oh, I'm blessed to have you on tonight. Becca, thank you for coming on. I pray that you are doing well. You have been on my heart and on my mind. And I know we've inboxed a couple of times in the last few weeks just about praying for you and what was going on with you. I'm happy to see you on here. Hey, Randall. Yeah, tonight we're not talking about sex, Randall. We did that the last couple of weeks. I need us to kind of breathe and then deal with what was discussed. Now, can I get something off my chest tonight? Just treat me wrong. What do you mean? Look, Ike said I'm treating him wrong because I haven't gotten back to him. Ike, I'm a busy woman. I promise you. When I get my staff back, it'll move a lot smoother, but it has been challenging. And see, that's something I want to get off my chest tonight. Can y'all put a 1 in the box if y'all give me just maybe 5 minutes max to get something off my chest? Can y'all put a 1 in the box if y'all can give me that moment? One in the box if you can give me one moment to get. I want to tell y'all, like, I have stresses in my life too. I'm not just coming on here like, oh, I got everything going on and it's amazing and I'm perfect. No. See, even this little bump right here got me looking crazy. No. Okay, so y'all don't even want me to say, look, I couldn't get a 1 in the box. Charles and Vark is still talking about I can't. No, you didn't. He said, No, it's Linda. Thank you, Linda. My girl, Linda said, give Dr. Tori a moment. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. I have a lot of stress on me right now, you guys, like a whole lot. Look, my shoulder's supposed to be, it's supposed to be out, but then when it's not out, it looks funny. So it's got to do something. I got to at least look presentable. It's supposed to be, yeah, the dress is funny. But okay, so got clients, COVID hit, courts closed. Courts is pushing child support, but they're not pushing custody. I have clients who are like, but everything's supposed to be going and everything's supposed to be doing and everything, and they taking my child support. And it has really, when I tell you guys, it was not easy getting attorneys to take pro bono cases. It wasn't ever. My husband can tell you, it was never easy. It was a gift that I had. But over the last, oh, look, Chris is on. So now listen up. So over the last few months since COVID has hit, then courts opened back up. Now I'm calling my normal attorneys and I'm calling some new attorneys who've been referred to me by attorneys. And they're like, yes, but they're taking their own sweet time. And it is stressing me out because my clients get stressed out. And there's clearly a shift that's happening that I have to make the adjustment for when I'm bringing clients on. That's why I'm so grateful that I said I would not take on any more clients, but I still have clients who are in the process, and they were in the process when COVID hit. Maybe y'all can give me some advice on how to manage that, because it's not easy dealing with a shift where attorneys now are saying yes, or they're saying no. They need some money. But the ones who say yes take their time. And because it's pro bono, like it's pro bono. But then dads are super anxious. I'm working with a mom. I won't lie to y'all. Let me tell the truth. I actually took a mom on who, after I said I wasn't going to take anybody else because I felt bad for her as a mom, and she came referred by someone that I know. So I took her on, and she now has a case that has been going on where she hasn't seen her child for 2 years, but I've only had the case for 2 months. And the first month we had to look for the guy. Then we found his attorney, and it was all this stuff. But I need you guys to help. Like, give me some, like, I always give y'all something. Give me some help on how can I navigate this? How can I help my clients through this process? I do my best to calm them down. I do my best to ask them to wait and pause. I do all of that. However, they are stressed out. Some of them see their children, some of them don't. How would you help someone deal with this? How would you help someone navigate that? Because it's not the same as what it was before COVID, you guys. And I know that for fathers, they are still being taxed, and meaning child support is still there, and they want to see their kids. And I'm right now writing an article with a journalist that I work with. That's why those stops in Denver, they may be long to those who are on my personal page, but they are being productive. There's an article that's going to come out talking about fatherhood and how it's been challenging for some men during COVID. There's all these articles saying how great COVID has been for dads. And I'm like, actually, not for everyone. And so there's an article that will come out on a national platform that I've co-wrote with this young lady. And I got to get it to her probably tomorrow morning, I think is my deadline, because I've actually extended it. But that's totally aside about how would you guys, how would you direct me on helping my clients deal with the shift? And how do you help me deal with the shift that's happening when I've been a superstar getting all these people, and now they're like, yeah, I'll get to you. And it's like slow. When I tell you guys, it's slow motion. When I say slow motion, they'll say yes today, and by next week, I may not hear from them. And then I hear from them maybe 3 weeks later or whatever that is. It takes time. So how would you guys help me navigate that? I know it's supposed to be Healing Tuesday for you, but I need help. I need help really quickly. Can you guys give me some insight before I give away? And for the person who gives me the best insight on this, I'm going to give you a gift. I won't tell you what the gift is until I see what your insight is, because I got 4 gifts here waiting. Wait. Hey, Nydia. She said, hey, now I'm here. Yep. They are taking NCPs. They are, Ike. Okay. Ike is saying they're still taking non-custodial parents' checks and still suspending licenses. They are, but they're not quick to give you a court hearing for child custody, or modification of child custody, or modification of child support, or enforcement of custody. They're not quick to do any of that. You said you meet with the chief judge once a month. Maybe you should inbox me who the chief judge is. I don't know who that is, because I think you're in Fulton County. Y'all ain't got no insight for me? Look, y'all like, no, we came on here for you to help us. I need them to be patient because Nydia said, what is the biggest problem you are having at the moment with your clients? So, and I have other clients, but the specific ones I'm talking about are the dads that we're working with and mom who we're working with to reunite with their kids, or getting them more time with their kids. The biggest issue I'm having is courts taking a very long time in getting them any type of custody order. And attorneys, number two, attorneys who say yes to the pro bono work, they then take a long time to reach out to the client. And it is causing me, in a sense, to look bad. But then they're like, it's pro bono, and I'll get to them. You know, one client, he doesn't have a court hearing coming up. He doesn't. So they're probably thinking, well, I'll get to him in a moment, and then we'll settle it out of court. No, that's not the answer, Chris. Sorry. Linda said, I would say maybe this time could be used on the parent doing some personal time to reflect on the future of their co-parenting and starting to work on communication and trust skills while waiting for court hearings. Linda, now, boo, I've tried to say that in many different ways. I do see, like, the men's room is active. I see that therapist, Dr. Winfrey, posted in there. I posted a question in there. Chris, I appreciate you posting the song in there. Some of the stuff you post, I'm like, boy, you're not advertising in my page. This is solely for therapy for men. That's what I have been focusing on as well, Linda, allowing people. I've got more people that I'm coaching. Yes, they are. Yes, Chris, stop. I have more people that I'm coaching, and I feel like if I help these parents heal, then we wouldn't have as many issues as we're having. But some of these parents aren't willing to heal. Like, see, here Chris goes, not everyone is constitutionally, seriously, capable of working on co-parenting. Mental illness and trauma is a big issue. Right, and that's why Linda is saying, Chris, you're not listening. You go to the Constitution. Y'all get, like, everything isn't Constitution and everything isn't government. I was talking to my friend Charles, who's on here earlier, because we both were working with a client that was driving me nuts earlier as well. And Charles was like, I told you to get rid of that client. I told you they're a problem. So the question we had today was, what percentage is the non-custodial parent possibly responsible for what's happening to them? And most of you would say, well, I'm not responsible. It's not that. It's not me. It's this and that. But Healing Tuesday is for fatherless individuals, but the non-custodial parent can sure jump on here and get some help, because mental illness is real, and so is trauma. And then you inflict it onto your children, and somehow you, as we talked about last week, can we go here? Because I'm looking for some stuff. Because I'm gonna give somebody a gift here in a moment. The other parent is transposing you, as Dr. INA did it like this, into the situation, and then you're scratching a wound that you don't even know anything about. Nydia, yes, we have that. We actually activated the men's room that has Dr. Winfrey, who you've heard on here, Suave, and then Counselor Matthew Volker is in there, and then also my coach that you guys heard on a Sunday night, Keith Sagers. They're all men. They are in there, Nydia. So she said, maybe find them help outside sources such as counseling, therapy, and father groups. I literally created all of that in one group, Nydia, called the Men's Room right here on Facebook. My husband is saying, can you push attorney a little harder, maybe check in? I do that. And sometimes they don't answer. But yes, I push as hard as I can, especially with me asking for a favor. As soon as I get an assistant, Nydia, I will definitely do that. I had to let go everyone that I had when COVID hit. That's another thing. I said, how to do, the only thing you got to do is get the documentation you can get it in Fulton County from the family law. Yeah, you can submit documentation. Take the clerk's office. After you take it to the clerk's office, they will submit it to the judge, and the judge will put it on the calendar. Yeah, it's simple, but it's not moving that fast in every county. You're in Fulton County. This is all over the country. I have one client who is in Hall County, and Hall County didn't even open up till the beginning of August. Like, they didn't even take e-filing. So every county, even in Georgia, did it differently. That is simple. Fulton County is still one of my favorites, because they are that simple. Right, Linda, constitutionally capable. What does that mean? Yeah, so I got to get an assistant. It does, no, Chris, that is not it. What? Well, it's not that they're not in a hurry, Becca. It's not that they're not in a hurry. They're overwhelmed. There's more divorces being filed right now. There's more family law things, and there's a lot of criminal stuff happening. So attorneys don't just focus on family law. They have other parts of their practices that they have been focusing on. One lady who had been working with me for years, I did mess up because I had another client with her and I mixed some stuff up. But I can tell you, she said she had to hire 3 new associates. They are killing it right now because it's overwhelming. It's not that they're dragging their feet, they're overwhelmed. Make counseling mandatory so they can heal. Babe, we've talked about this in our house. And the men's room is now mandatory for all clients. It is mandatory. Now Monday nights at 7 p.m., there will be a live video from those therapists or coach or whatever, because the men weren't coming. They weren't coming to the room. Yeah, they've gotten that backed up, Becca. Absolutely. Because they weren't taking any, like some places weren't even taking anybody. So then they got inundated with so much stuff. See, Charles is like, yes, he agrees with you, Vark. I knew what that yes was for. Yes, because Charles has become my best friend in this after we had the same horrible experience with the same client. and if they post anything crazy, Charles has got my back because Charles had a problem. Nobody knows who that is, but it was an issue. So let me see. I hate to say this because y'all, yeah. I'm going to go with Nydia because she said find them the help outside helps resources, counseling, therapy, and father group. I'm going to give one to Nydia, and I'm going to give one to Linda. So Nydia, you're going to get the awareness ribbon. So send me your new address, boo, in the inbox. And then I think this one should go to Linda because she's got a lot of kids. Linda, I'm gonna give you this amazing book that I just got from one of our people who loves the work that we do. They love it, love it, love it. So they send me things. And The Best Father of All. And it's a kid's book and you can read it to your baby. So this is Linda's. I got to mark it. And then Nydia gets an awareness ribbon. So we can, yeah. So Linda Steele. I got to mark this. You say, yay. Nydia said, yay. Yes, so you can let people know, and it becomes a conversation piece. It's a beautiful piece of artwork. And I didn't just create this, accidentally. I worked with an amazing artist, world-renowned artist, who gave me a piece of his artwork. Hey, Dwayne. Oh, you both are on. I love it. He gave me a piece of his artwork, and we were able to cut the awareness ribbon out of it. For those of you who did, she said, shut up. Yes, I got you a book to read to all your children because you got a lot. Or they can read it to you because you got ones old enough to read it. Mark said I had to pay for mine. Stop it. But the awareness ribbon, if you donate $25 or more, yeah, if you donate $25 or more, you can get an awareness ribbon. It is just to help keep this work going and then provide the services that we do for fathers and go from there. Stay tuned. Live broadcast from the White House. Lord help us. Becca said, what's up with the new name? So you guys, let's get into this. I don't want to, belabor, but I do have 2 other gifts to give. And I want to talk about these things that we've been discussing over the last few months. When we got into the conversation of living with a mama's boy, I know some people were, y'all hear that thunder? It's intense outside. When we got into this conversation, we really realized there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know. But there were a lot of things that I learned, I thought I knew, and then it affirmed what I knew. But I want someone to list the 4 types of mama's boy. Ha! Who can do that? Oh, she said, I'll have them do a paper on the book. Okay. Yep, that's done in Fulton County. And that's why we offer it too, Ike. So but I'm going to go back here. Those of you who participated in the series, Living with a Mama's Boy, I want someone, whoever does it, I got a gift for you. Nydia and Linda, you cannot win. You've already won something. List the 4 types of Mama's Boy. The 4 types of Mama's Boy. Lord, I hope I remember them all. Yeah. So Becca, Nydia got transferred and got a promotion in the military. She's a strong woman in the military. I believe she's a sergeant, and she got a promotion and she's in Kansas. So Dorothy and Toto. Right, they're silent. The 4 types of Mama's Boy. Dorothy, yeah. It's Dorothy in Spanish. So she broke it up because she's Dorothy in Kansas, like the Wizard of Oz, Becca. Uh-oh, Dwayne said, oh boy. Yeah, Becca and Dwayne, I think you missed that one. But 4 types of Mama's Boy, or living with a Mama's, 4 types of Mama's Boy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to remember these because my book is in the other room. Nobody? Oh, come on, y'all. Lark, do you know the 4 types of Mama's Boy? I know the narcissist was 1. Ah, see, now I'm forgetting. Y'all done made me panic. Come on, somebody. 4 types of Mama's Boy. Y'all got me cracking up over here. Catherine is on. Catherine, give me. Yes, Charles, you should know this. 4 types of Mama's Boy. Nobody. Oh, see, y'all didn't know y'all was going to get a pop quiz. Y'all had no idea. There it is. I got it. Okay, I'll give you one. Mr. People Pleaser was number 1. Who? I found it. Give me the other 3. Mr. People Pleaser was number 1. And Mr. People Pleaser, we felt like he morphed into another dude. No, Control Freak is not 1. Uh-huh. See? Okay, so I'm going to have to type it in here because y'all taking too long. We'll put Mr. People Pleaser and let's see if anybody gets it while I'm 2. Mr. Narcissist. I could say the annoying guy. Can you spell narcissist laughing at you guys? Yes. Yes, Mark, that's number 2. Mr. Come on, y'all. Time Bomb. And then Mr. Sensitive. Yes, see? Nydia's like the time bomb. I already typed it. So the 4 types of Mama's Boys one was the people pleaser, 1 was the narcissist, 1 was the time bomb, and 1 was Mr. Sensitive. And when we looked at the people pleaser, he definitely had issues that we knew morphed into time bomb. Mr. Sensitive, it didn't, like, everything bothered him. Every single thing. I want to go into something that Glenn said when I had him and Cherie on. He talked about how many of us, because of how we were raised, especially in fatherless homes, we live in survival mode when it comes to relationships. And I wanted to make sure that I reiterate that, because survival mode doesn't get you the love and the ecstasy that we're going to get into that we talked about last week. Survival mode gets you a roommate. Survival mode gets you living separate lives while living in the same house. Survival mode makes you attract a narcissist, right? And then the other thing that we definitely recognized, and I kind of kept asking this question, is once you're living with a mama's boy, what kind of person does a mama's boy attract? He typically attracts a woman who is emasculating. because I don't know the numbers and the statistics, but I definitely, when I was reading the book, as well as looking at different blogs and statistics, women who come from single parent homes have a great propensity for being an emasculating woman. Yeah, survival mode is just existing. It's not living. It's just simply empty, is what Becca said. And it's this place where, no, she is not a daddy's girl. It's this place when you're surviving. It's this place where there is no purpose, not only in your life, but not even in your marriage, and you're just making it. Nobody wants that in a relationship. That relationship will eventually fizzle out. So then you've got this emasculating woman who is drawn to this mama's boy. He said a daddy's girl. No, because if her father wasn't around, how can she then be a daddy's girl? So that doesn't typically happen. She becomes emasculating. And some of the stuff we learned about this woman who emasculates, give me one thing that you guys learned about an emasculating woman. Give me one thing, besides that you realize that you were her at some point in time, or you've been her, you know, in your current relationship, and you had to back up after we had the conversation. Put a 1 in the chat. If you didn't realize you're like, no, I'm good. I'm not an emasculating woman. You can put a 2 in the box. She took on the role of a man. Yes, Varg. That's definitely one of the things. And one of the reasons she took on the role of the man is because being a mama's boy and living with one, he becomes passive. And his passivity is fuel to her emasculation. My husband is like, please share this. Y'all share this. Let me even share it. I haven't shared it on my proper platforms. So make sure you share to your pages, because I'm just summarizing everything that we've talked about. So emasculating, I know men have had emasculating women. I know men have had mothers who emasculated them, and they didn't see it as that way. We saw it as discipline. And when my mother took on the role of mother and father, not possible, but that's what we say. I didn't recognize that she was out of her role. She was out of her place. And so it became this disjointed way of living. That's how I'll put it. She wasn't meant to be mother and father. So taking on the male role, or what she thought was taking on the real male role, made it really, really weird and really strange for even her, not only her parenting us, but her lifestyle with other people and other men and relationships. Your wife is not your, come on, Dwayne. Your wife is not your mommy. Sometimes we draw, right? We like women who are like our mothers. And then when they act like them, it becomes a problem. And if your mother is toxic and then you marry a woman who's similar to your mother, guess what happens? You might have a toxic wife. That's not good. Who becomes emasculating? Other things. What else did you guys learn? One powerful moment I said in the book was this. There was a clear distinction between how women define manhood and how men define manhood. And when I tell you, women, we live in a fantasy concerning what manhood is. We live in a fantasy. Men know what it is. Even if they didn't have it, they know what it is. And too often they morph into what we think it is in order to be at peace in the relationship. I need for us as women to really understand what manhood looks like. Men have a hard enough time knowing what it looks like, but yet not being able to achieve it, not having someone to get them there. But then when we come in and change it because of what we think it is, that really adds a whole nother level into the dynamic. Oh God, this dog. Somebody come get Tokyo. He is eating everything. Yeah. His rawhide, his pig ear, and you can hear him whining and clanking in the background. Okay, so the other topics that we had, inner healing. After we talked about emasculation, we got into the inner healing, the inner me, the inner healing. Let's go here. There was a part where I definitely came on and talked to you guys about making yourself the priority. I want to get to that page because I take notes and I write things down and I have to go through. I'll just show you. So I have notes galore. My legal pads are all over. Well, they're not all over. They're in a certain spot. They used to be all over. I got a desk now, y'all. I got a little section in the house. Nydia said, I'll take Tokyo. It's only for a moment. But he is over here doing the most. Okay. See, yeah, Becca, she said, I know for me, I'd rather just complete the task myself instead of waiting on him to do it. That's emasculating. One scenario we talked about, Becca, was a young lady who, because she was so used to calling her father for advice, she would call him first. And she had to get to a point where she sought her husband, and then they talked about whether it was okay to call her dad. And if they made an agreement that if he couldn't figure it out or he couldn't get it done, she would call her dad. But her dad was the first one that she would call. In the series when we talked about inner healing, what did you guys get from that? Do you remember that one? How many of you remember inner healing? Healing the inner me. One of the things I talked about was prioritizing your healing. How many of you have prioritized your own healing? Not somebody else's healing. We tend to focus on other people, don't we? Marriage doesn't give you the ability to do that. Doesn't allow you to do that. As much as I would like to focus on Varg's healing, I have my own healing I need to do. People have noticed, because what you guys don't know is I have literally I've been walking through a space of healing the last 30, 40 days now. And I'm just getting to the place where I can sit in it like we've been talking about concerning this area that I've been dealing with, that y'all saw me break down very clearly on here. And some people are like, you look different. I don't think I look different. But I am definitely prioritizing my own healing. One of the things we talked about was healing your own brokenness. And how do you do that? And what does that look like? Acknowledging, but not only acknowledging, but owning this space of healing. Owning the fact that I'm broken. Owning the fact that I've been traumatized. Owning the fact that I need to get this work done. And that becomes the very challenging work when it comes to you men who are watching or who will watch. You guys don't think that healing yourself is tied to the time that you spend with your children or the reunification of you with your children. Yes, Becca, both emotionally and physically. Yes. And when you heal emotionally, it does a lot for you. It does a whole lot. I think that's one of the reasons I've been breaking out too, because all the stuff is coming out. Plus, I've been working out like crazy. That's the physical part. I have a personal trainer now, y'all. I went earlier, and I'm gonna tell you right now, my legs hurt, but my body look good. My husband can tell you, he saw me. He was like, okay. Yeah, the trainer's kicking my butt, and that's part of my emotional and physical healing. It has to be done. And then mental is part of that as well. Like emotional is part of the mental, but there's so many things that I buried along the way in the last 2 years. I know the work to do, and I was doing it, but certain things you just can't get to when you're busy. And I am proud of you, Linda. I've seen the work that you've been doing. I've seen the traveling, just because I'm working on me, and I'm trying to work with my clients in the midst of all of this craziness. It has not been easy. And Becca said, my health took a turn because of all the emotional pain that I carried for many years. Miss Becca, we can hang up now, y'all. Miss Becca, now you just went there. You just set some folks free, and you just spoke the message that I've been talking about for the last year, because we just hit our year mark. That's why I'm giving away stuff too. Becca, I'm gonna send you a gift. I'm gonna send Becca this gift. Nydia has this book, The Father You've Always Wanted. And it gives you away. Becca, this is yours. Look, I don't think you got that one. I don't think I sent you any gifts. Let me see. Because that's going to be part of your healing. And it's a really good book. It really is. Father's passed on, whatever that is. You can't get to him. He's not a part of your journey. He's not going to be a part of your journey. That's a book that book will tell you. Yeah. She's like, cool. So send me your address in the inbox. What was I talking about? I'm sorry. Oh, my own personal journey right now and having that balance. But yes. Oh, I was saying, Linda, I see you. I've seen you. I've seen the work that you're doing, and it's amazing. And the men, you have to take responsibility and ownership for where you are. We're not saying that the courts aren't who they are. We're not saying that you're not experiencing some bias, responses. But I'm going to tell you honestly, if you ask yourself, is there any part you played in this? Is there any part that you played in the destruction of your situation that has now kept you out of your children's lives? I want you to own that. Some of you can say, no, I just picked badly. Well, that's a part of your responsibility. Some of you can say, yeah, I cheated, or I didn't treat her well. Whatever that is, just own that part. Does it equal the damage that's being caused to you and your children by not spending any time with them? No, but you still have to own it. And then you have to acknowledge it in a way where you acknowledge it and own it in a way that you take responsibility for it and heal you, because that's traumatizing. And I hear it in my conversations with my clients, knowing that you're not healing your own brokenness, and you haven't made it a priority. Yeah, there was another thing that came out. Embrace. This is what Dr. Winfrey said. He said, embrace versus avoid. Many of us will avoid. I was avoiding for the last couple of years simply, and this is just one area, because my husband and I couldn't get on the same page about it. And how could I embrace it when I needed him to be a part of it in order to embrace it? It's when you're married, it's a really weird dynamic. And I'm learning how to trust myself and trust my instincts and not absorb all the doubting and the different things that come in through other people. Even my own husband, love him dearly. What did I write here? Trusting my instincts, discernment, and what I know to be truth, and stop allowing people to draw me into their delusions delusions and denials. And the other thing is trust myself, learn to believe in myself, even when others don't, and let the lies exist without allowing them to penetrate me, right? Some of us don't know how to, when these relationships happen and these women do and men do false allegations on us, we don't know how to let the lie exist without it penetrating us. We just don't. And we have to figure that out. And that's one of the things I'm really learning, is letting it bounce off of me. Letting it bounce off. I know the truth. Whether the rest of the world knows the truth, it doesn't matter. I know the truth. Yeah. Share. Absolutely. Ike says sometimes, but most of what I see, it's the women. That's true. But I can't walk through this and not say that I don't have some female clients, and I haven't had female clients throughout the years. I've probably had a total of 5, but I recognize that that's why we're called the Fatherless Generation Foundation, and we haven't changed the name. I really get an opportunity to meet and know these men for a number of years. These women are bitter, but they also see sometimes men are mature enough to understand that they get in their own way. Okay, so let's go to the bitter. I don't want to call women bitter. I want to call them broken. I want to call them traumatized. And as it was said last week by Dr. INA, and I said it, but I didn't say it like this. She said, you're literally being transposed, and you're becoming the father that broke their heart. I've said this. So they're not bitter. They're just broken, Ike. They're broken by the first man who abandoned them. They're broken by the first man who wasn't emotionally engaged. They're broken by a father who was in the home with them, but yet he didn't engage them emotionally. He provided, he went to work, he provided, he came home, he did, he watched his TV and he moved on. And maybe he came to some of your games, maybe he didn't. But we have to recognize that not every woman is bitter, she's broken. And then having men sometimes mature enough to understand that they get in their own way, that's the part where that frustrates me. I don't get to see that enough. I need men, especially on social media. You cannot blame everything on the government. You cannot blame everything on the court system. You can't. Even if you own 5% of it, own your part. Own it. And everything isn't about the government. I posted the Father Effect, which is an amazing movie. And then you see other people posting about the government. This is not, everything isn't about the government. Some men do make mistakes and walk away, and they realize it later. Charles said, be honest with us when you need help. The truth will come out. I've learned so much watching court cases proceed. Yeah, because even the one Charles and I had, Charles was like, that man needs therapy immediately. And I was like, I know, I sent him someone. He didn't take it. And we put him in the men's room. He didn't take it. I know. And he's like, I don't need therapy. His sister's like, he needs therapy. We know. But men think they need their children first. What do you do when you're a dad who's broken and then you get your children? You're traumatized. You then want to explain to them everything that happened to you and all this stuff. We need you healed. We need you healed when you're walking back into your children's life. Catherine said it months ago. Healing is the first step to you actually having access to your children. And it's not my way of doing it. It's just something that's happening. It's something that's necessary. Nydia said, but it's hard, especially when you were raised to care about what everyone else thinks. Girl, you ain't got to tell me. It's the battle of my journey in my life, is not letting the lies penetrate you, right? Letting them just exist. Trusting your own instincts, not second guessing yourself. That's a part of this journey. That's a part of inner healing. That's a part of the cognitive behavioral work that I do with my clients privately. And I have groups going on right now. And those of you who need to sign up for some healing concerning your fatherlessness, go to beyondfatherless.com. And look, I have cut those prices in half. So don't tell me I'm pitching or anything like that, because I rarely say anything about it. And I just so happened to say it on the one where we did about codependency in the midst of this inner healing conversation. And 2 women signed up that night. So I don't typically say anything about it, but we're talking about the healing. We're talking about the space between our ears where we can't just let lies go when people tell them. They're honest. Laura can tell you, I spin out of control. I am the Tasmanian devil when you lie on me. But why? When it's a lie? Why? I can't do anything about it. I can't change your mind. People who lie, Nydia, are just going to lie. And even when you present the truth, they will lie. I'll share something with you guys. I have a stalker still. Nydia, he inboxed you. I sent that to him. And now we have officially filed for stalking, harassing, defamation, and slander. I was trying not to for several years, but it's just gotten out of hand. We sent a cease and desist from the foundation. He didn't take it. We sent the cease and desist from our attorney. And I'm going to tell you, he didn't listen. And so now all of them names is coming for him. Okay. So in the midst of that, he said, oh, you said you have offices in blah, 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 in all these states. Okay. Can I share? Because you guys are my tribe. So let me share this with you. I don't have a building. I don't have a whole floor. I am blessed that we work a working space is an amazing thing. I did close those offices down once COVID hit, but I have a nice room in most of them. He messaged you again, Lord Jesus. I have a nice room and it has a logo on the door in Atlanta, right? And so in the midst of that, I sent it to him. He was like, oh, you could have just made that. That could have just been a backdrop. And then he came for me, calling me infertile. And that's why you ain't got kids and because you infertile and you this and that. And I had to tell and I'm sharing this out loud because that's a lie I've been dealing with. Well, I'm not infertile. I don't have children because I'm infertile. That's just crazy. Like that could be a thing, but it's not. And I had to work through that, you guys, over the last few weeks because he said it. And I was like, well, damn, why would you say that? And it really played on my heart because I was like, is that what people think? People have said that to me. They've said it. They thought it. They've looked at me funny. That ain't the issue. Boo. That ain't it. And I had to work through that because this person is crazy. People will lie. And even after I showed him a picture, he still believed what he wanted to believe. So I'm saying that, and I'm being vulnerable and authentic and transparent with you to share that with you because even when you show a liar the truth, they're going to believe what they want to believe. And you have to let them. You have to let them. So Ike says, this is difficult. This is from a mom. Look at this. I'm sorry, and I understand. I should have done a courtesy call, but I had some personal stuff going on in my life. My youngest son that is about to graduate from college with honors was arrested because a girl he broke up with said he raped her. Oh, I know these stories. We had to get him out on the weekend. You were here. He has all the proof that he didn't. She's apparently upset, wants revenge. I had to pay $7,500 to get him out. The bond was $75,000. Yeah. I know people like that. You need to contact Diana Thompson, and you need to contact Joseph Roberts out of San Francisco now. Yeah, he's out of Atlanta. When I first learned to lobby, I went to DC with Diana Thompson, and they were lobbying for men who had been through that in college. And Joseph went through it. He was 2 weeks from graduating, and they never let him graduate from the college that he spent all his money on and went to. I don't know once his case was cleared what happened, but I don't think that happened at all. I don't think they gave him his degree at all. And so I know exactly what you're talking about, Ike. That happens way too often, and we have to deal with that. And one of the things we were in DC lobbying for was due process, because a lot of times in colleges, young men don't even get due process, and they just are assumed. See how mom has to now come out of so much money to prove her son's innocent. It is not innocent until proven guilty. It is guilty until proven innocent. And now mom is out of this money that she needed to put that on something else, especially with COVID. Yes, just remind me in the inbox. I do see your messages. I just can't get you on the phone just yet. Yeah, and then you said you see it so many times. A female tried that with me, but didn't know that I was smarter than the average fellow. Yeah, I'm still dealing with it all, Becca. See, I've talked about this guy before, and you guys know it. So he needs his own inner healing, and I will be praying for him while I sue him. And I'm going to sue him for money, and I'm suing for criminal stuff. So those of you who know who I'm talking about, just let them know. I got audio of his ex-wife talking about how he beat her and abused her, and that's why we stopped working with him, you guys. Once I determine that you are abusive, I'm done. I cannot reunite a child with an abusive man, and that was not a lie. It was real. It was documented, but he played it off nonetheless. That's a part of my journey where I had to deal with getting a lie out of my head that was told about me. False allegations happen all the time, and we have to recognize that a liar is a liar, and there's nothing we can say or do to get them to change that. And part of our own healing process is that we have to recognize that's what it is. We take responsibility for our part, nothing more. The other thing I want to bring up is there were so many things that I remember. Oh, yeah. See, Dr. Winfrey gave y'all some stuff that night. He said some people won't even pay a copay for their own healing. He's talking about therapy. Some of you won't even pay $25. Some of you won't even do that. Let's say he decides you don't have insurance, but he decides he's going to charge you $25 to $50 to come see him without insurance. And what happens? You won't even pay that for your own healing because you don't value your own healing. You don't know how imperative your healing is to this part of your journey. You don't recognize it. When you become rich, don't forget the little people. I'm working on that, Charles. I'm working on it. And I don't want to be rich to be vain. I'm not that girl. I do like designer wear, clearly. But just like today, I posted, I want to pay people's rent. Like a lot of people are like being evicted. And I want to just be able to go down to the courts and look at cases and discern who's who and pay rent where they get to stay. And people don't know, but in 2009, I did that. I raised funds. I asked people for $1. Everybody give me $1. Some people clearly gave more than that. And I did the Miracle of One More Day campaign, and I was able to keep 17 people in their homes at least for a month and a half more. But I think I know it lasted longer than that because we then were partnered with Tracy Morgan out of Dallas, and she was able to get people virtual jobs and different jobs that helped the underemployed get real employment. So I did some partnership to help with that. And I just want to be able to walk down to courthouses all over the country and just Pay the rent. I hate to see people being put out and evicted. How much trauma are we adding to our society by doing things like this? And I want to tell you, traumatized people are the ones who are doing this. They're all about the money. You can't let people stay. The government's giving them money on some level. They just have to apply for it. But they're not applying for it, or they're just getting the money and putting people out. It's disgusting because they can. So the other thing let's get into prioritizing your healing. Can I go there really quickly? And then I want to get into some of this sex talk before I get off here, because I got really quickly to do this. I focused on prioritizing your own pain is necessary. I need you to see your value. The reason random acts of kindness. See, we only do it, and at least they do it at Christmas time and buy you gifts. Can some celebrities, I'm gonna call some of y'all out. Can some of y'all celebrities just go down to the courthouse and pay off rent? Like, seriously. Y'all can, that's Christmas in September. Because y'all have it. Children don't need gifts that they don't have no house to play in them. They need a house right now. They need a roof over their heads. So yes, I would love to do stuff like that. But you have to see your own value. We have to focus on the good as far as who we are, but also we got to acknowledge the bad and work on it and grow. But I need for us to first know that we're valuable. I need for us to first know that we have value. I have value. And I can't lie and say that I don't lose sight of that sometimes, especially when you're going through stuff or when somebody call you names. When a woman says you're a deadbeat dad, do you remember your value then? Do you remember it? That's in Fulton County, Charles. Houston putting people out. They got 200 evictions just as of last Monday, just for 7 days. And they got more this week. So that's Atlanta. See, we got to deal with the rest of the world. I know we deal with our communities, and that's cool. But I get to see the world view because I work in the world, right? She said, I could use some Christmas in September. Life is super hard for my family. Yeah, it's time to do Christmas in September. We're going to figure out how we can do that for some people. We point out other people's flaws while ignoring our own. When you prioritize your healing, and I'm just reading some of my notes, when you prioritize your own healing, you're able to see who you really are and recognize the dopeness about who you are, but also the stuff you need to work on. Oh, so they just did that. Okay, Charles, I'm gonna have to look that up. And I'm gonna have to, but what about the people who were evicted this week and last week? They got to still be put out? Oh, I can't. Okay. See, Charles is giving me stuff, y'all, while I'm trying to stay focused. We help others do their work while ignoring our own. See, when you don't see value in yourself, you can talk about your girlfriend and her stuff, and your homeboy and his stuff all day long, but then ignore who you are. That's not just suppression. That's an act of violence upon yourself. I don't value me, so I'm going to prioritize everyone else. I need you to value you. Owning the truth of your pain is number 2 that I wrote down here. This means that you accept and you experience the pain. You embrace it. It's that embrace versus avoid. No, you're fine. I'm glad I got some new information because that makes me happy. Did you see the family who killed themselves, you guys? Sat in the car, in the garage, 3 people dead because they got evicted. Can't have that. Owning the truth of your pain means that you accept and experience the pain. You embrace it versus avoiding it. You stop agreeing with the lie. You break up with the lie. The lie of avoidance has many of us stuck. The lie of avoidance has many of us stuck. When we prioritize our healing, we don't get stuck. We press through it. We sit in it. We move through it. And stop rejecting the experience is what I wrote down here as well. There will be purpose birthed out of it. Y'all got to know your purpose is beyond the pain. Your purpose is birthed from the pain. Many of you keep saying, I don't know my purpose. I'm looking for my purpose. I don't know my purpose. Some of you have been evicted. How many have been evicted before? Me. It might be why I have such compassion. See, that births compassion. Trauma births compassion. Trauma births purpose. Number 3, remove all distractions and detours. Sex is a number 1 detour. Yep. Sex and substances. And then number 4, affirm and confirm to obtain the healing your heart desires. That means you got to get into some positive affirmations for yourself. I need for you guys to check in with me. And even as I'm talking about this, tell me where you are with these things that we've learned over the last couple of months. And then Dr. INA came and set us on fire. Y'all weren't ready for no sex talk. Y'all was like, oh, we want to talk. We want to talk. And then I bring a woman on who says God has called her. She said God has called her to destroy this shame cycle within women and men, but mostly women live in that place. The shame cycle. Yeah. Then she said, it's okay to have sex without intimacy as long as you're whole. I wasn't ready for that part because I live by a set of guidelines in my single life, right? And so I was like, ooh, that's deep. But I thought about it and I'm like, I get it. But how many of us are as whole as we'd like to be? Not many. So we still have to do this work. Gotta get, as my old coach would say, Kendall, he said, get this work. Come get this work. The work is digging in. Yeah. Hey, Andre. You know, we've been playing phone tag today. Just go back. The last 2 weeks, we had a sexologist, sex therapist on here, Andre. It was good. It was good. And you guys, I don't know if you know, but we actually broke Dr. INA in. She's never done a Facebook Live or a live at all. So that's why at times you would see her a little nervous sometimes because she was amazing, but it was her first time. I just kind of made her jump into it. She was absolutely amazing. I'll have to add the clips that we've now put together. I didn't have a chance to add those because I was resting this weekend. Dr. INA also broke down how we as individuals get caught up in sexual, situations with people as a distraction. Because we were talking about, is promiscuity a threat to our intimacy? Absolutely, it is. As I tell you guys all the time, fatherless individuals are highly sexual, rarely intimate. And so when you are not intimate, you don't allow a person in. And some of the work that Dr. INA gave us was to heal so you can sit in the pain and then feel, what are you feeling? Because once you know what you're feeling, even in pain, you can know what it feels like to have ecstasy. You know what your points are. See? Pain has a purpose. It has a mission. So once I know, if I sit in my moment and I know how I'm feeling versus pushing off my feelings, right? I can know what it feels like to have ecstasy in a sexual relationship. That's crazy to me right now talking about that. That's why I brought somebody else on. I'm like, I blush. Look, I'm blushing off of it right now. I'm like, whoa, that's serious. We need to know how we feel. And in order to know how you feel, you have to sit in the pain and the trauma and go through and experience it. And it won't be the same way it was when you actually had the thing happen to you. But if you feel it, then the next step you will learn is you know what feels good to you and you know what feels bad to you. You know where to have a person touch you and how to have them touch you. And you're able to not only have sex, but you're able to have ecstasy, as she put it, in your marriage and in your sexual relationships. See, I'm stuttering. In your sexual relationships, you're able to have ecstasy. I know the women on here are like, ooh, child, I want ecstasy. I want to know what that's like. Oh, because y'all inbox me. I won't call nobody out. I see you on my phone, but I don't see you on here. I can tell who's on. So that's what I want you guys to really focus on. And I'm still trying to check in and see where you guys are with the stuff that we learned. Where are you? Did you just come on here and hear it and move on? Or did you come on here and you heard it and some of you, okay, I'm going to do this. Some of you have therapists. Were you able to take some of this stuff to your therapist? Because that's my goal. My goal is not to be your therapist, just to be your coach. I'm not a therapist. I'm a coach. My goal is to help you connect the dots to your pain so that you can then take it to your therapist and say, this is where I need my work. And Dr. INA and several other therapists that I brought on were like, yes, because look, y'all can pay all that money to the therapist to help try to figure it out and do a discovery session, or you can get on here and do the work and then take that information to your therapist and have them give you the tools and work it out from that perspective. That's what my mission is. So how many of you were able to do that, or you're planning on doing that, like taking what you've learned to your therapist? And how many of you were able to do some of the work on your own? That got you to a place where you saw some improvement in some of the healing. So put a 1 in the box if you were able to take it to your therapist and get those tools. Number 2 in the box if you were able to say, you know what, I was able to do some of this work on my own and it got me some of the healing I've been looking for. Number 3, I ain't done none of this work, Dr. Tori. I ain't lying to you. Jessica, I see you. She said, I'm the one that needs to get a therapist. Just like I've activated the men's room, I am now working on the women's room. There's a room called the women's room. I'm working on it. I've got daddy issues. It's supposed to be for my coaching clients only. And so that's why I've got people in there who are not. And I got to reshape that so that I can make sure that their work and things like that. I said, I'm 1 and 2. Okay. I'm work good. Oh, I loved it. Jessica and Annalisa, like I was able to get some of the work done just by listening and going through this. I'm loving that. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yep. Love it. Love it, Nydia. And I know Nydia and Becca, you guys have therapists that you've talked about on here. And so I'm going to tell you, you need a therapist and you need a coach. You need the two. We can work together to get you the healing that you need. And I don't cost as much as a therapist. I'm a lump sum initially, but I'm quick. And the therapist is over time. They're over time. And like I said, my prices are slashed in half because COVID is a real thing. And I do have a heart. I have a big heart. Sometimes that doesn't work in my favor. It doesn't. But I'm grateful to see the women chiming in. So men, I'm going to ask y'all let the ladies do all the talking on here. Oh, you got to find a new one now. That's right. Because you in Kansas, you better call that old one and see if you like that person. Let me say it that way. If you like that person, see if they can Zoom call. Men, you guys let the ladies do a lot of talking sometimes. And I want to know, are you doing the work that you're hearing on here? Or do you just, do you take it to your therapist? Or are you doing some of the work on your own to get to where you need to be? Or you're like, well, I hear it and it's cool. And I like listening to you talk. What? 1, 2, or 3? I need to see some men on here. And not my husband. Not my husband. He said FaceTime. Yeah, I do FaceTime a lot with my coaching clients are FaceTime. They're totally FaceTime. And now that I got Teams down pat, I'm using Teams. And you guys, I'm doing a lot more ministering too, which I'm super excited about. So I'll be in Dallas. See, I knew Vark was going to answer 1 and 2. That's true, Vark. You do 1 and 2. And I like, see. And see, this is what you guys don't know. So behind the scenes, Vark tells me whether it was a good live or a bad one. And I'm like, was it good? Was it okay? See, I still got that. Still not sure. But tonight was check-in. And I wanted to know where you guys are. But it's good to see that people are utilizing this for their therapy as well as their own healing. I totally appreciate you for that. I appreciate the fact that the information that I'm giving you is working for you. This is the other thing I want you to do. We're in our year mark, and how we started out was I was like, y'all drop me some topics y'all want me to do in the inbox. I want you to continue to do that. We talked about so many things over the last year, and I'm so grateful that you guys have ridden this wave with me over the last year. It has been life-changing for me. How do I say this? See, I stutter when I'm like, yeah, talking about sex, but now I'm being thoughtful. It's been life-changing for me because it shows me how far I've come. I didn't start this with all this knowledge. I had to do research. I had to read studies. I had to get certifications. I had to do a lot of different things. And then recognize the truth of what healing looks like and know that it's a gift. Know Know that it's a gift that I have to want to have people, watch people be healed and help them heal. And that has, for me, been what has made Healing Tuesday so important. Yeah, Becca, I'm gonna put that up in a minute. It's not an easy thing to get on here every Tuesday night, I can tell you that. And then tonight I wanted to talk about intimacy, but we've talked about the 5 stages of intimacy. So I'm going to share that as a watch party tonight and tomorrow, because I don't want to keep repeating things, although we can. I don't want to do that. I want us to keep growing. And the things that we need to repeat, we will. But the things that we don't, we can just replay it and go back and do that. Yeah, Nydia, it has been a year. The check-in is awesome. Good to see Dorothy and the family, as well as the new people, the brothers. Dorothy, hilarious. So this is what I want to say right here, because Becca said it. Guys, please work on your healing. You don't want to let it go. You don't. And end up with major health problems like I have. The ACEs test. I've put it on here before. The ACEs test tells you, gives you 10 questions, and it tells you if you're more susceptible to having cancer, heart attacks. Heartbreak leads to heart attacks and heart disease and it leads to high blood pressure. It leads to all these things. But if we continue to ignore it and suppress it, we do have disease because our body has dis-ease. It's just that simple. I'm not trying to be profound in any way, shape, or form. So just know that doing this work brings healing to your relationships, but also to your body. I'm working with a client right now, and in the midst of talking with her, I realized she needed spirit, mind, and body. And that's how we're going to work on it. Spirit first, mind, and body. It's just what it is. Many of you need the same work. Many of you do. You can just watch the videos from over the last year, and you can get some of that work. They're titled, Yes, Love, the Apnea. I'm going to let you tell that if you want to tell that. I'm not getting involved. Jessica, coming across your video was a blessing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because for me, this ain't easy. I'm telling you. It took me a long, you guys don't know this, and I'm going to get off of here. I hated seeing myself, and I hated listening to my voice. Now I'm comfortable with my voice. Now I'm working on really telling you what I think. That's what we're going to do the year 2. I'm going to really tell you what I think, using my voice to the fullest. Because now that I've accepted my voice and I'm comfortable hearing it, now it's time to really speak what's deep in there to get you guys to that next place and that next level. But Becca, you have said a mouthful twice tonight, and I thank you for that. Who was it? Ike, I think it was. Ike definitely participated. I gotta ask. Let me look at something. I need to know before I give this book out, because it'll seem wrong if I don't pay attention. And bear with me for 2 seconds, you guys. 2 seconds. Because I told you I had one more gift to give. One more. Ike, you work for Fulton County. And you know some of my people. I'm trying to look for a picture of Ike. Ike, why don't you have any pictures on your page? Is it because I don't know you? I'm not friends with you on Facebook. Oh, Mark said, oh crap, get ready. It's time for all of us to share our real voice, like our full, no holding back. Not that you're supposed to just tell people off. No, I'm talking about speaking what comes from your spirit and your gut and your heart. Okay. Oh, Ike done shared safe people. I see you, Ike. Okay, I'm making I got this amazing book. And this book was done. They have one for mothers too. So don't call me a racist, and don't say I because I'm not. And Ike is in Atlanta, so I think he said it's private. I think he might like this. So Ike, do you have this book? Do you know this book? Tell me. I'm going to give Ike this book because he participated quite a bit today. I Am a Father, Celebrating African American Fathers. A lot of these fathers are in Atlanta, so you will recognize many of them. And a gentleman that I know in Atlanta who I think he's running for superintendent or councilman or something, he put this book together. David Manuel put this book together. And so I'm going to send this to you. So send me your address. And you guys, you'll get your stuff in the next 2 weeks. And we'll go from there. He said it's private. It is private. But I'm going to make an assumption that you may like that book. I don't want to make an assumption, but I'm going to make one right now. You don't have it. Okay. Would you like the book, Ike? Because I appreciate your participation. I appreciate your engagement tonight. It's nice when men come on as well and share their journeys and some of the information that they have and they know. And you shared some valuable information tonight. So those are my 4 gifts for tonight. I did have a t-shirt, but I'll wait for another night to do that. You guys, I pray that this check-in helps you, even if it was to go back and revisit some of the things that maybe you skipped over. Even Andre, she got on here and she was like, yes, Andre's name it's a female, but her name is Andre. You're like, what? She got on here and she missed some stuff. Andre, go back. The last 2 weeks were amazing. And he said, yes, I'd like the book, ma'am. Okay. Send me your address. I appreciate it. But maybe just get you to go back through some of the stuff and revisit it so that you could, keep the healing moving in the right direction. Next week, I'm going to come with some stuff. I don't know if I'm going to get back into intimacy, because if we're talking about promiscuity being a threat to your intimacy, I at least need to share the video where we talked about intimacy for several series, the 5 stages of intimacy, or the 5 types of intimacy. And I know that Glenn and Cherie are talking about it too, so I'll share some of that on our page as well. Can I get a shirt? Michael, yes, you can get a shirt. Inbox me, please, love. Inbox me. I'm giving you the fatherless generation with the logo on it. Oh, Becca. I was like, what is Vark answering? I'm glad to be back. I've missed everyone. We've missed you too. Truly. And Vark said, yes, I missed you too, but was praying for you. Yeah, Becca, I did share with Vark. I didn't share with anyone else on here what was going on, but I did share with Vark, and we have definitely been praying for you. Yes, we have t-shirts. We have the Fatherless Generation Foundation t-shirts, and we have I've Got Daddy Issues t-shirts. We've got a few t-shirts and things that I promote sometimes with people. I'm horrible at that. You guys will see more posts on my page now. Just know that they're not me. They're me, but they're not. I hired some digital marketing people because I do get distracted sometimes when I'm posting with y'all and commenting. So I do have an admin who is over my page, but she was a single mom, and she used to be the single mom sage. And so she's real hard on y'all when it comes to single motherhood. So don't think she's that single mom. She's not, but she has an amazing company that's now working with us to help with our digital marketing and push it out. Yeah, it is what it is. Thank you, Ike, he said, let's send her some hugs. Yeah, because I got a lot of stuff going on. But I'm still here and I'm still showing up, and I'm grateful to God that I can do that. We will definitely keep in touch. We're still praying for you. Lots of pain. Look, Michael, send me your address, and you got to give me, it takes about 2 weeks for me to get everything out with my crazy schedule. Plus, those of you who are in Dallas, let me go here. If anyone's in Dallas, I need to see you the 18th through the 21st. I am ministering in Dallas. We're in Lewisville, Texas, right outside of Dallas. And I will be talking about daddy issues. And this month, I'm talking about forgiveness. Last month, I talked about identifying your daddy issue. This month, I'm talking about forgiveness. And I'm actually calling the series called I Don't Know How to Forgive, because that's what a lot of us deal with. And then I will be back in Dallas again. This conference is a 3-month conference for social distancing purposes. They want to make sure that they don't, make anybody, catch COVID. They give you a mask when you walk in. You have your own hand sanitizer. I know this because I was there. See, look, where's my mask from the conference? See, here it is. It says, Jesus be offense. And this is the mask they give you when you walk in as a part of your registration. It's $50. And, there's going to be some powerful speakers, but I just happen to be one of them. Ministry is my first love. And that might be another reason why I look different. I actually got to go back and minister. But if you are in Dallas, I want you to inbox me. I will send you the link to register. It will be powerful and profound. I am blessed to be one of the speakers, and then go from there. And then my husband also join the men's group, go into the men's room. We will literally have a live as of next Monday. I wanted to have them sooner, but Dr. Winfrey did post in there a video about how men need each other. And he did this video about that. And he's a therapist. So men need each other is the video he put in there. And then Chris Cole posted the song that he wrote from a child's perspective about growing up fatherless. Yes, my husband is coming to Dallas along with my bonus daughter. So she was excited because she'd never heard me speak before. So just know that Dallas is going to be powerful. There are limited seats simply because it is a social distancing conference. If you don't get in this time, please, please, please register for October so that you can get in then. And it was so good last month that the host church is like, maybe we should do it November and December. So you may see me then. If you ever decide to come to the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas, or Kansas City, let me know. I'll be there. I have been to Kansas City before. Our church is our pastors are from Kansas City. And who knows? I may be back. Yeah, I came there for a PTA male engagement conference years ago. Great food, great food. And hopefully, look, you want me in Kansas City and Linda wants me in Oklahoma City. They're pretty close to each other. And then Charity lives in Tulsa. So we'll see what happens. If you come back to Atlanta, I could totally go for that. I was in Atlanta getting my hair and my stuff done last week, but I will, once COVID slows down, you guys, I will start getting back to different places. But I did promise Apostle Sonia Blackwell last year that I would do this conference for her. And she said, I'm the only one that God told to come back all 3 times. So I am in Dallas, 3 times. And I've been close to home. And I've stayed that way during COVID, not because I'm scared, but I just don't want to travel and spread and do whatever else. And I don't want to catch it. I don't want none of that. So you guys just keep me in your prayers as I keep you in mine. Know that I love being the owner and the CEO of the Fatherless Generation Foundation, but I need your prayers. It is not an easy work. It is not an easy work. Oh, she said, ooh, we have to talk about Africa. I didn't get to go to Africa. I'm still trying to go. But I'm here to connect the dots. Look at me, distracted. See, I think I got ADD. I don't know. I need to be tested. But I'm happy to connect the dots to your pain so that you can take that to the therapist and get the work that you need done and the tools that you need in order to go from survival and coping to thriving and living in ecstasy. Look, right? That's what we're talking about, living in ecstasy. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week with a new series. I won't tell you what it is, but I can't wait to promote it. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. I will see you next Tuesday. Have a good night. Bye-bye.